What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. We have 9 weeks until the C&O Canal 100 miler. It's kind of a local race up here in Maryland. Similar trail system to the JFK 50 miler, just on that river trail. So it's going to be pretty flat with crushed road. So I'm really focusing on fatigue resistance and speed coming into this, especially off of the Yeti 100, which was like pancake flat. I'm taking all that training and then just rolling it right into the C&O Canal. After the Yeti 100, I took maybe like a little off season. It was probably around a month to 2 months where I wasn't really tracking anything. I was still getting in around 50 to 60 miles a week and staying really consistent in my training. I was lifting a lot more and kind of just doing things on a whim, just kind of resetting everything, enjoying some time on the treadmill, watching a lot of anime, and then right after that, I got sick. My daughter got RSV, jumped over to me, and me and my daughter have asthma, so it really destroys our lungs, and it'll just like sit in there for like months, and it freaking sucks. But I'm just coming off of that. I got sick, went to SHOT Show, got sicker, came back, got re-sick, so I've been sick for about a month straight, and it's just starting to clear out. Still, when I go into like that zone 3, top zone 3 to zone 4, my diaphragm kind of starts seizing, and I still have like kind of a cough if I'm really working hard, but it's nothing crazy. I'm really tracking my heart rate when I'm working out to not over push it and get re-sick or anything like that, and being smart about it, really hydrating and trying to eat and sleep as much as possible to make sure that I don't get re-sick. So that's kind of where I have been for the past couple of months. Other than that, yeah, we have been training. We have been working really hard. A lot of my training has been on the treadmill. The treadmill is an awesome tool if you like work from home, or if you have a really busy schedule, or if you have kids, because you can basically just throw your shirt off and then go and hit a couple miles on. I highly recommend monitoring your heart rate so you're getting into those zones properly, just because the feel is going to be a lot different than running outside. So making sure that you're working appropriately and hard enough on the treadmill. But it is a great tool for, regular dad runners like myself and regular people runners like ourselves that don't have hours and hours of day to spend out on the trails. We can get some work in at home, and you can go on Facebook Marketplace and get a pretty good treadmill for like less than $500, a couple $100. And if you have a truck, sometimes you can get them for free. So highly recommend getting a treadmill for your house if you have that opportunity. My aerobic engine is like pretty big right now because I'm still coming off that Yeti 100. And I never stop running. I've been staying in that zone 2 on the off season. So I've just been chipping away at that aerobic engine. And what I've always been really struggling on is power and speed. So I'm really focusing on some uphill treadmill, some speed workouts, working in that marathon pace and that LT pace, like a marathon plus pace. So I can hopefully start scraping some of that speed out of my body, because I have a really, non-runner body. I weigh around like 185, and I just kind of lumber down the trail. So today, once again, the focus is going to be fatigue resistance and recovery, which is kind of weird. And I'm trying to figure out if my body can absorb this kind of training and this amount of load. So last week I got 86 miles in. I've been doubling the days up. So I've been running about an hour during the day and then an hour at night. And then over the weekend, I went outside for the first time in a while and hit a 20 miler. And I did a failed kind of workout on that 20 miler. I started with like a marathon pace for 5 miles. I got through it. I almost freaking died. 4 miles, I almost freaking died. And then I went into a 3 mile interval at marathon pace and our marathon heart rate zone. And I had to stop. I was like freaking dying. So I kind of lumbered my way through that 100 mile, or I kind of lumbered my way through that long run, but we got it done. My legs are absolutely smoked. I took a full day off on Sunday. I just lifted some weights, so I'm not going to do anything that impactful today. So I'm going to stay on the treadmill. I'll be hitting a uphill treadmill session today during work. And then after work, I'll just hit like probably a zone 2 hour just to help maintain that aerobic system and kind of initiate some lactic recycling and move into a little bit more recovery. So not pushing it too hard on that second run. So right now we're going to hit a uphill treadmill session. I'll be doing 1 hour at 15% grade and try to stay in that zone 2. So I'm just going to head over to the treadmill and then we'll talk about the session just a little bit more. Okay, so we are 2 miles in, 25 minutes. The heart rate is already at like 150. So I'm already dying. Probably going to have to slow it down. I'm running at 5 miles per hour, which is the 12-minute mile per pace. So nothing fast, nothing crazy. Just trying to keep constant tension in the legs at that 15% and then lowering this pace as my heart rate goes up. So yeah, just going to be chilling on this for an hour. When I am working throughout the week, I do typically will have like electrolytes and some carbs with about 800 milliliters of water because I sweat so freaking much. So if you are working out during the day at work and stuff, really fueling these workouts, make it so then you can actually like get back to work without feeling like a zombie. But as you can tell by my breathing, like this is top Z2, which is fucking murdering. I don't know. I got this workout from the SWAT podcast, the Roaches, and they always talk about uphill treadmill like it's a refreshing theme and it gets them ready for the session tomorrow. But this absolutely fucking destroys me. Every time I do it, I feel like I get fucking wrecked. So I'm just gonna continue doing it because apparently that's my weakness, is speed and power, which are like kind of intertwined. So I'm making sure that I'm getting in 2 to 3 uphill treadmill workouts a week and then trying to get in 2 speed workouts a week. So really focusing on that. And then everything else is just zone 2 and recovery runs. I mean, I'm gonna try to average around 80 to 100 miles per week. So rest, recovery, all the prehab stuff is really important because we don't have the benefit of just relaxing after you're done working out. Have to go sit in a chair or a standing desk. My desk is literally right there and I'm watching notifications just in case anything crazy happens so I can hop off and finish work. So I got about 30 minutes left and I'm just gonna keep romping up this hill. And this isn't just for remote workers. I used to work in a cubicle a lot and I would do the same thing. Instead of taking my 15-minute breaks and my 30-minute lunch, I would just go and run for an hour in Tampa, Florida, come back sweaty as shit, go into the bathroom, get a bunch of rags, do a little whore bath, and then go back to work. Yeah, I was a stinky guy in the office, but I got the work in and I got the miles in. So if you really want to do it, you can figure it out. And if you don't have that capability, work your ass off so you can find a remote job, or you can find a job that gives you a little bit of flexibility, and it's completely worth it. So I'm dying, dude. All right, I'm gonna finish this up and then we'll go from there. All right, so we are done. That was still dying. So that was an hour and 9 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes about. Got 6 miles total. Hit a mile at Z2 after. So ended up with 6 miles total. And then now I'm just doing my standard knee dips. So 4 sets 10 knee dips each leg. And this is something, of course, that I will always preach is this little prehab stuff when you're running high mileage, just making sure that you're doing all the little things to make sure that you're healthy and your body can handle all the miles that you're putting on and all the stress that you're putting on. So after every single run, I do these little knee dips. And if you haven't seen the video that I made, it's basically, I think I titled it like, this one movement saved my knees. But this little prehab stuff really, really freaking helps. So always making sure that I'm getting it done right after my run, no questions asked. And then I'm gonna jump back to work, get some work done, probably work until like 6, hang out with the family, eat dinner. Once the girls go down for bed because they have school tomorrow, that's when I'll jump back onto the treadmill. So basically I'm working, running, working, hanging out with the family, and then going back on the treadmill, watching some more anime. I'll probably, if I can, I would actually run in the dark. It is good practice, just like being able to move and like find everything on your body when you're running in the dark. But it did snow today and last night, so I'll probably just go back on the treadmill. And my heart rate was getting up there. I was hitting like 155, so I had to back down a little bit. I'm carrying a little bit of fatigue from last week's long run, from that 20 miler that I did. So I'll probably take it easier on this second run, kind of in the recovery paces, probably stay around like 145. All right, so we are on our second run, just staying in kind of like the middle zone 2, trying to stay at around like 145. On the treadmill, I can go a lot faster. The speed on the treadmill definitely does not relate to outside, just because it's like controlled. I can really control my breathing. Just with my asthma and bullshit, my breathing gets all funky outside. So I can go a lot faster on the treadmill, but trying to keep everything around that 145 heart rate zone, middle of zone 2. If I start creeping up to zone 3 or top zone 2, I'll lower the speed. And right now it's really just kind of like maintaining the aerobic engine. Tomorrow I'll be hitting a speed workout, so I didn't want to put too much damage onto my body. Still healing from the long run on Saturday. Yeah, still healing from the long run on Saturday. I can definitely feel the fatigue building up. After that uphill treadmill, my heart rate is like maybe 5 to 7 beats higher than it would be if this was like, if I didn't do it during the day. So I made sure that I was hydrating a lot. I got like these like popsicles that I've been munching on. So that's a nice change in pace to get some electrolytes in. Drank a lot of water, had some chicken and potatoes for dinner, and then just working that out. I'll hit a protein shake and maybe a little bit of carbs after this run. But once again, I'm not putting in that crazy of effort that I need to like just bombard myself with carbs and calories after this run. Just enough to top myself off and feel fresh for tomorrow. So I'm gonna get this little zone 2 run done, and then we'll sign off from there. All right, so that was the second run for the day. It was about 8 miles, a little bit over an hour long, and I was really just focusing on staying in zone 2. Now, there's a lot of people that hate on treadmills, and it's like, oh, never run on a treadmill. It's not the same. And of course, it's not a one-to-one to running outside, but you can get a lot of work done on the treadmill. Basically, 60% of my runs leading up to the Yeti 100 was on the treadmill, and I ran a 1644. So, you know, it did help my aerobic engine quite a lot, my running efficiency. And I really focus on those specific things when I'm running on the treadmill. I'm not really focused on the pace, but I'm focused on my heart rate, making sure that I'm working in the proper zone. I'm focusing on my cadence. So my cadence was really low. It was like 165. And I'm slowly pushing it up to like that 180 range. And it's not like I'm trying to hit that magic target. It's just I've noticed that I'm much more effective and faster when I'm around like 175 or 180. And it's been really pushing up my cadence and my form. And that's what I'm specifically focusing on. And that has really, really changed how I run outside now, because I know how it's supposed to feel in a very controlled manner on the treadmill. And then when my form starts breaking down, I start leaning forward or like starts collapsing into myself. I can feel those body cues and try to adjust myself appropriately so that I can try to maintain my pace and maintain my form outside. And that has really, really freaking helped. So there is a lot of stuff that you can get from the treadmill. Once again, I highly recommend, if you have the ability to get a treadmill and you're in ultra marathon and you have a full-time job or you have a really busy schedule, get a fucking treadmill, because you can get a lot of work done and a lot of miles in if you just have to stand up from your desk and then walk right over to your treadmill. I murdered that thing. I had to change like basically everything. The warranty is like out now, and I murdered that freaking treadmill, and I plan on murdering it even more. But that's basically what a day looks like when I run twice a day. I basically wake up, work a little bit, hit the treadmill, work a little bit more, put some food in my face, and then I'll hang out with the babies after work, chill, have some family time, make sure that you fit that in everyday life. And then once they go to bed, I'm back on that treadmill. So all the little extra stuff that I used to do, like chill out and swipe on the phone and watch anime on my phone on the on the couch and stuff like that, just cut it out, and then I do it on the treadmill. So all my anime watching is on the treadmill, and all my like junk stuff is on the treadmill, because I'm just freaking romping away on that twice a day. My wife usually works out in front of me because I have this open mat area. Once again, I like kind of work in a gym. I've just been collecting workout gear for the past 10 years since I've been out of the military, and now I have a desk and all around me is just gym equipment, which is pretty freaking cool. And that's one thing about ultra marathon and life in general, is like, you should really love the grind. You should love the daily grind, even if it's not the funnest day, or it's a hard day, or you really freaking suck, or you're enjoying every single minute of it. Like, you should fall in love with the grind, because if you're not in love with the grind, then once you get to the goal, like, why does it even matter? It's like one little thing for a whole lifetime, or a year or months of just like suffering and sucking, and something that you don't even enjoy at all. Like, I would much rather just find something that I can enjoy from day one to day two, on bad days, on good days, whatever it may be. And then you get to the goal and it's like, yes, I made the goal. And then you get to celebrate. And then it's like, okay, what's the next goal? Because I enjoyed the entire ride up. And now I'm up. So let's keep on going up. So that's my one piece of advice. Even if it's not ultra marathon or running, find something that you can enjoy every single day, that you can enjoy the grind, because that's how you're going to stay consistent. That's how you're going to chip away. That's how you're going to become an average motherfucking savage. So once again, find something that you can fucking enjoy the grind. Let's get out there. Let's fucking get it. Let's go.